ridiculous it would be to say, let's hold off on the ideas I had in my best energy and let's wait for my worst energy. And this is what most people do, is they either set a big goal in January and then go back on it in February, or they just remember, how that happened year after year after year. And they're like, you know what, this year I'm going to be a little bit more reasonable. This year, I'm not going to let the caffeine affect me. This year, I'm going to try to wait for all of the positive energy to go past, and then I'll set a goal based on my more realistic self. How many times have we shared the after picture without sharing how long the journey was? This is something that if you are willing to fall on your face, you can do it. The question is, are you willing to get back up? My name is Josh, and I'm your push coach. I'm the #1 best-selling author of F Leadership, and for the last 6 years, I've helped over 40,000 entrepreneurs to take ownership of their businesses and create tangible results that have changed their businesses and lives forever. Let's dive in. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to Your Push Coach. My name is Josh. I'm your push coach, and I am so pumped to hang with you guys because as we are recording this live, are wrapping up another year. We are about to start a brand new year. It might already be the new year as you're listening to this, or it might even be like next October or something like that. But for those that are listening live, we are almost finished with this year. And I want to talk to you today about why your New Year's goals haven't worked yet. In the past, at least, okay? I'm really, really, really big on goals. I know there's some coaches that are kind of like anti-January and anti-goals, and I just think that that's silly. I think it's really silly to be against the only time of the year that the rest of the world is actually on board with wanting to do big things. Like, why would you resist that? Why would you fight against that? So I am personally not against January. I personally love to see any reason at all that gives people extra motivation, that makes people want to reach for something bigger in their life. I'm all for it. Now, is it silly that we only do it once a year? Yeah, but let's be real. Like if that's the time that the entire world is okay with doing it, why would we resist that, guys? Our job as life, health coaches, consultants, whatever you are, our job is to help people to reach their full potential. And therefore, anything that helps them to reach their full potential, we should be all in on, okay? So I want to talk to you today about why your New Year goals haven't worked, okay? So we have January, which, as I just mentioned, is kind of like this, like, it's just this global time that everyone comes together. Everyone feels like they have a fresh start. Everyone feels like, you know what? Like, this is my chance. I've got some regrets from the year before, maybe some things that I wish I would have done. There's something about a new year that kind of gives us this fresh perspective of that's another year that's gone. Like, that's another year of my life that I can't get back. And therefore, there's like this extra motivation and this extra intensity to go do something, to accomplish something, to make my mark on this freaking planet, to leave a legacy. And so I want to talk about the two biggest mistakes people make that keeps their goals from actually working. And the first one is this. People tend to go way too small. Now, I want you to think about this for a second, okay? We have all of this hype, all of this momentum, all of this energy. And what tends to happen is that either one, we create our goal from that place of energy, from that place of positivity, from that place of feeling completely limitless, like we can do anything we want. And then either we remember what happened last year, so we downgrade the goal, or we go ahead and stick with that bigger goal, but only for like the first 30 days, and then reality kicks back in and we say, yeah, that was crazy. That was stupid. And here's what I like to do. I like to set my goals when I am energetically highest as humanly possible. In other words, my team, so every morning I work out. I'm kind of known for taking pre-workout every morning and hitting the gym. That's just my thing. I love pre-workout. I love coffee. I love energy, okay? And I literally will send my team ideas while I am as high as humanly possible on pre-workout. Like while the pre-workout is fresh in my veins and I am like lifting weights, I will literally take quick little breaks to send my team ideas. Now, here's the thing. Some of those ideas end up being crazy. Some of those ideas end up being like the stupidest thing Josh has ever said. But I also understand that it is from that height of energy that some of my best ideas come from. Now, I want you to imagine I send all of my best ideas while I'm high on pre-workout, okay? And then later that afternoon, when I'm feeling a little bit of like the 2 o'clock crash or the 4 o'clock crash or whatever, imagine if I were to wait until that time to send my ideas. Imagine if every morning I was like, oh my God, these are some of the best ideas, but hold on a second. These ideas might be a little too great because I am probably exaggerating a little bit what's possible right now. I've got Energize in my system. I've got some caffeine in me. And like, I don't really know if this is even doable. Let me just hold on to this idea and let me wait until I have a 2 p.m. crash. And before I have my afternoon coffee, that's when I'll sit down and come up with my best idea. Do you see how stupid that is? Do you see how ridiculous it would be to say, let's hold off on the ideas I had in my best energy and let's wait for my worst energy? And this is what most people do, is they either set a big goal in January and then go back on it in February, or they just remember, how that happened year after year after year. And they're like, you know what? This year I'm going to be a little bit more reasonable. This year I'm not going to let the caffeine affect me. This year I'm going to try to wait for all of the positive energy to go past, and then I'll set a goal based on my more realistic self. And here's the problem with that. No one ever changed the world with realistic goals. No one has ever done that. No one has ever been like, you know what? I just want to grow 1% this year because, that'll compound over the next 70 years, and then I'll be able to retire, and then I'll be able to live a nice, peaceful life in my recliner. The reality is you're listening to this podcast because, well, first of all, probably you're drawn to the energy because I'm an energy dude. So you're probably drawn to the energy, which means there's something in you that's wanting to do something, right? You don't get energy. Like, I don't take a bunch of pre-workout and then go lay on the couch. That would make me depressed, okay? You love energy because there's something you want to do. There's something you want to create. There's something you want to perform. There's literally something in this world you want to change. So don't make the mistake of creating a goal that is out of alignment with the excitement and the energy that you have. Don't be one of those people that says, well, I'd love to change the world, but if I fail, that'll be such a letdown. I personally set a goal while I'm as high on caffeine in the new year as humanly possible. And then this is what I do. I write it in my journal day after 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 day until it comes true. And guess what? It's not always in the year that I first create the goal that it happens. Sometimes it happens 2 years later, sometimes 3 years later, sometimes 4 years later. And this is where people miss it. People think that the goal of the goal is to reach the goal. But the reality is the goal is only to get you aiming and reaching for something greater than yourself. So you will be forced to plan out and strategize what it will take to get there. And I'm going to get to that second part, which is the plan and strategize, in part 2 of this episode that I'm going to talk about next week. But here's the thing. I've got something really important coming up that I want to invite you to, okay? On January 4th at 6:30 p.m. Central, I'm doing a big, huge goals and strategy call. Now, it's very important that it's goals and strategy, not just one or the other. It's a goals and strategy call. Everyone in the world is invited. And I'm going to talk about how to properly set goals. It's January 4th, which means you're still going to be riding high on the energy and the caffeine of the entire world. And that's where we want to create those goals from. We want to do it in a special place with a special energy. That's what I love to create for my clients. Once a year, I do a big goals workshop because I want you in that place, surrounded by other positive people, that's where I want you setting your goal for 2023. Okay. So I would love for you to join me. Bring your team, bring your friends, bring anyone and everyone you want. Anyone that has a goal to grow a business, I want you to bring them. Okay. It's January 4th, 6:30 p.m. Central. You can register for that on my website. If you go to joshcoates.com, there's like an announcement across the top, as well as a big, huge button on the like intro video that's like at the top of the page. Okay. You can click on that. You can register for free. This is the very first time ever that we're also going to add you to a Facebook group where we've got some bonus training going on leading up to the webinar. Okay. So I'm going to be going live January 2nd and January 3rd inside the Facebook group. And then we will also be doing a big, huge evening training on January 4th at 6:30 p.m. Central. If you can't make it at that time for whatever reason, we do email out the replay to everyone who's registered. So make sure you get there because, guys, I want you to go into this new year riding on an energy like you've never had before, seeing what is possible for you. But then I also want to help you to create some strategy. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about strategy in part 2 of this episode that we'll be releasing next week. But I just want to make sure that you get registered to this workshop because I'm telling you, it's going to be insane. Okay. The energy is going to be on another level. And I'm just, you do not, this is so important, guys. You do not want to go into a new year and ignore the opportunity to jump into a new energy, into new goals, into seeing something bigger for yourself. Okay. Do not be that person that hates January. Okay. Just be the person who sticks to the things you committed to in January. The way we fix it is not by getting rid of January. The way we fix it is making sure we have strategic plans for how to actually go reach those goals, which again, I'm going to talk about in our next episode, and I'll be doing a full training on January 4th. So make sure you get registered for that, guys. I love you so much. I believe in you so much. I hope that you are having an amazing holiday break. If you're getting a break, if you're not getting a break, I hope you're using that as motivation, guys. I detailed cars for 9.5 years. I never had any paid time off. So when I was building my business, every single Thanksgiving where I had to wake up at 5 o'clock and go to work and work all day so that I could try to get off in time to go have lunch with everybody. Christmas Day was literally the only day I would take off. I would work Christmas Eve. I would go in the day after Christmas. I would work New Year's Eve, New Year's Day. If that's you, use this season as motivation to go create something bigger so that you never have to do that again. All right. I love you. Have an amazing holiday. And I'll see you in part 2 of this podcast where we're going to talk about strategies and plans to help you crush your goals. See you soon, guys. This is something that if you are willing to fall on your face, you can do it. The question is, are you willing to get back up? My name is Josh, and I'm your push coach. I'm the #1 best-selling author of F Leadership, and for the last 6 years, I've helped over 40,000 entrepreneurs to take ownership of their businesses and create tangible results that have changed their businesses and lives forever. Let's dive in.